Hi YouTube, this is Michaela Hanna, and today I'll be interviewing the female vocalist of Abney Park, Jody Ellen. Welcome, Jody.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Thank you for being with me today.
You're welcome.
So, what inspired you to start singing?
What inspired me to start singing? Ever since I was probably, I would say like 2 years old, 2 or 3, I've wanted to be a singer. And here and there in between, deciding throughout my life if that's what I want to do, I've chosen things like singing, but it always took me right back to being a singer. I wanted to be a makeup artist for a while, and I did, but still it's like I don't want to be behind the scenes. I really just want to be in front of the camera, in front of people. I like entertaining. I've also done a lot of acting, and that's actually helped me on stage and helped me just in my career and in my confidence and stuff like that. But I've always come back to, I really want to be a singer. And our entire family is musical, and my dad is an amazing musician. He's taught me a lot of what I know, and a lot of what I know I also learned in school, and so that's what's made me want to be a singer.
Oh, how long have you been singing for?
Well, professionally, I've sang probably for, I would say 6 or 7 years. Abney Park is the most professional thing I've done to date. I was also in Seattle Stars, which is the American Idol of Seattle, and I got really far in that competition, and that kind of gave me the confidence I needed because I was on TV in front of thousands of people. And so ever since that, I got that little taste. I just wanted more. So I've been singing professionally for about 6 or 7 years, and singing in general my entire life. I love music. When my mom was pregnant with me, my dad would play the banjo and sit on the bed and play it just to get me used to hearing music, and I think maybe that's why I love music today.
So what made you want to get out there and sing for people?
Well, ever since I was a little girl, I would put on skits with my sister, and I was just, nobody told me to do that. I just wanted to. I wanted to entertain people. I loved seeing the looks on their faces when I would just come up with something random. And I love entertaining in any way possible. It's fun for me. It kind of feeds my soul, in a way.
So when did you join Abney Park?
I joined Abney Park about 2 years ago, 2009, in August. They put out a Craigslist ad for a singer, and what I did was I got online, and it was that day I decided I don't want to be a makeup artist. I really want to sing. So I'm like, well, how do I even start, again, to sing? So I went on Craigslist, and I found Abney Park the second I looked for a singer, and it was just sort of fate. And Robert is my cousin, and I was like, wow, that's my cousin's band, but I didn't really know anything about it. And so I got online, I emailed him my resume, and the rest is history. I auditioned, and I made it.
So Abney Park is a steampunk band. What exactly is that?
Steampunk in general is pretty much just, I would describe it to people who don't know, as Victorian sci-fi. It started out as a literary genre, and it's moved from literary to movies to now music. And our sound meshes, we mesh a lot of things together. We try to take a little bit of the past and a little bit of the future and mesh them together. So futuristic sounds like techno beats, dance beats, and synths and stuff like that. And then we also take some vintage stylings like Christina does ragtime piano, and other types of styles that were popular back in the Victorian times. And we have Nathan who does mandolin, banjo, violin, and we take a little bit of everything. And what I do is I kind of take from what's popular now, and I try to also take from the past and do like an Andrews Sisters feel to some of my vocal stylings, and I harmonize with myself and try to sound as vintage as possible sometimes, and sometimes it's just whatever organically comes out of me. So it's a mesh of everything.
What's it like working with the Abney Park?
Abney Park is one of the funnest groups of people I've ever hung out with, constantly entertaining. We talk so much about things that are inappropriate, bathroom humor mainly. We spend hours together on long trips, and so we have to be really good friends, and we are. We like to play Left 4 Dead together. We have dinner parties. We'll go out together. They're quite the characters, and everybody has their own little personality. We all actually mesh really well together for a band, so they're great people.
So what's your most memorable moment of Avenue Park?
My most memorable moment. There's several moments, but one that I always think I come back to is the second they told me I was in the band. I was at Dragon Con, and it was my final audition to be in the band, and I had to perform in front of about 6,000 people. And I was a little depressed because I didn't think I was in the band yet, and I was sitting at the merch booth. I was tired, and they all got together in a corner of the room, and they were talking. And I didn't know what they were talking about, but I was hoping it was about the band. And they pulled me over, and they said, "We loved what you did at the concert. We want you to be in the band." And I started bawling and jumping up and down. I jumped on Christina. I jumped on Robert, Nathan, Dan. Josh wasn't in the band yet. And then I started jumping on fans. I was ecstatic.
So how has your view of life changed since joining Avenue Park? Is it better, worse, laid back, or hectic?
It's a lot better because I'm doing something that's true to myself and something that resonates with inside of me that I've always wanted to do. And so I think that I see a lot more joy. I get to see the world. I get to see people. I get to bring happiness to people like I've never been able to do before. So it makes me feel really happy to be in the band.
So you guys tour all over the world. What is your favorite place to visit?
My favorite place, there's been so many good places, but the one that really sticks out in my mind was when we were in Tucson, because we were at the old Tucson Studios, which is where all the Westerns were filmed. And my dad's an avid Western fanatic, and so growing up we watched Tombstone and all of the just the Westerns that he made us watch. And it was weird because it was like I was in that setting, and we got to ride horses, shoot guns. We performed in a saloon that's been on tons of movies, and so it just felt really, it was like surreal being there.
So as one of the new members of Avenue Park, what are your thoughts of your celebrity status?
I honestly don't see myself as a celebrity, and not a lot of people do. When I'm at a show, I definitely feel like a celebrity walking around, and now with the bright red hair, it's like, there's Jody Ellen. I walked into SteamCon. We weren't performing there, but I walked in for 1 second to pick up my friend, and I got mauled because it's the bright red hair. It's weird because I'm such a normal person, and I live a really normal life that it's weird to feel like I'm a celebrity. It's fun in a way, but in a way it's scary. You got to be really careful about the information you put out there about yourself.
So do you write your own music?
Yes, I do. I've always written my own music. When I started recording it, I was about 16 or 17, and I just found those recordings the other day, and I was like, wow, those sound really good. They sound like songs that I could actually hear on the radio, and so I've been writing a lot lately. I took a couple years off, but I'm back into it, so yeah.
So some of your fans have been asking, will you be soloing your own music?
Yes, I will. I have a lot of my own songs right now that I'm working on, and I have a couple other people in my band, which we don't know what the name's going to be yet. It should be coming out. I hope to get an album out in 2012, and it'll have a lot of my original pieces on it and some that I've written with a co-writer, Michael Broker. So, yeah.
So which of your favorite original pieces? Which
my
one's your
favorite? My very first song that I recorded was called Lifeless. And I go back now and I read the lyrics. I was 16 when I wrote it, and I'm like, I sound like I'm like a 55-year-old person who's lived this long life. For some reason, I had so much inside of me at that time going on in my life that I wrote really, really cool lyrics, and the melody is really haunting. It sounds a bit Evanescence-y, and we recorded it and we gave it to EMP. We never went anywhere with that recording, but it's some really cool lyrics.
So where would you like to go from here forward?
I want to stay in Avenue Park and keep doing what we can do until we can no longer do that. And I also want to come up with my own CD so that the fans know, my personal take on music, so they can hear, what's coming out of me from my heart. I write from my heart. I don't write as cool lyrics like Robert will write very awesome stories and things like that. Mine is a bit more raw. It's a bit different. And so I'm really excited to show that to the fans.
So we're running out of time, but is there a website that we can go to?
Yes, you can go to www.jodyellen, JODYELLEN.com, and you can see all my YouTube and connect with me on Facebook.
So thank you for watching today, and please subscribe.